guest.
I know you like being thematic.
And I do, and I thank you. And I do apologise to our guest. Hello, Mark, are you there?
I am here, yes.
It is actually Mark T. Jones, but my typing late last night, blurry-eyed, actually wrote Mark T. Tony. So we do have a listener who called in to correct it. And, yes, thank you for that, PT. We do appreciate it. So welcome to the studio, Mark, and congratulations on your debut screening at the Ocean Film Festival in Ririli last Thursday. That was just brilliant.
Yes, no, it's certainly, I say like an honour. So very, very good indeed. Very happy.
But I think we were quite struck. All the films were extremely high calibre, and then there was this one very short little piece made in our own bay, Port Phillip Bay, which film-wise completely stood up to everything that was filmed internationally, probably with quite big budgets, I would have imagined. That's not your style, is it? You're not a big budget filmmaker.
I am just an independent person that's really only started out over the last year and a half. So.
And what got you into filming? You're a diver, obviously. You've been diving for a while.
Look, I've only been diving for the last 5 years, but I just found that what I was seeing underwater, I wanted to get that across to people so they could actually see the beauty that I see, and see some of the interaction that can be had in the bay on our own doorstep. So.
And what do you see? How about you describe a bit of a picture for our listeners? Because I'm not a diver. I have been diving a couple of times, but not as a regular thing.
Yeah, look, the bays, the bay itself, and the piers and so forth that I explore. There is all sorts of fish life, from small juvenile fish through to grown schools of fish. We have octopus, cuttlefish, squid, stingrays, lesser shark species.
Do we have nudibranchs?
And we have nudibranchs, yes. Blairgowrie is the nudibranch capital of Melbourne. And
nudibranchs are pretty cool.
They are. They are. It's a very diverse range that they have there, and as I said, it is probably the capital in Melbourne for the number of species that can be found there. They are very beautiful indeed.
Yeah. Off the now, your work is done. Particularly the piece of footage that you showed was the life under the piers, wasn't it? It was.
Yes, it was.
But there's also other dive sites that are local. I'm just trying to think the point down at Sandringham, Black Rock, is it?
Yes, down at Black Rock. Yes, there are. There are dive sites all around the edge of the bay, and in the centre of the bay there's a number of shipwrecks and reefs throughout the bay, and then along the coastal areas as well as Mornington and Bellarine Peninsula.
And are you diving generally on your own, or are you taking groups down with you, or how?
No, look, I did dive on my own at one stage, but I've now dive with my wife and with a friend on a weekend, and we dive every weekend.
And I noticed that you were asked a bit of a question at the film festival. Someone wanted to know about the dredging in the bay, and did you have a viewpoint on that? Have you noticed any difference in the health of the bay when that's done?
Look, over the last 5 years that I've dived, you do notice change in the fish life that is within the bay, but I must say it seems fairly resilient. So it's bounced back from the initial impact, but it still goes to say that it's a very fragile environment, and things like dredging and large-scale commercial fishing can have a major impact on the sea life. So.
Okay, and as far as the filming goes, now your filming wasn't particularly big budget. What sort of camera did you use?
I've got a Canon XF100 high-definition camera and a housing for it to go in. I've got a smaller video camera as well that I use for my close-up nudibranch work. So that's my equipment budget. So it's around about $5,000 worth of gear to be set up with, but it's low budget compared to the big filmmakers that would be spending a lot more money doing that work.
And can you talk us a little bit through the philosophy? On your website, it's the tag Respect Through Education and Awareness. So
yes.
Can you just talk us a little bit through the philosophy of your postings and what it is that you're trying to share with people?
Yeah, look, over the years, I began photographing underwater, and I found that a photograph, whilst it showed the beauty, it couldn't show the beauty and gracefulness and how it was to interact. So I began videoing to be able to show people what I saw, take away the fear that most people have of the ocean, the things that are unknown, and then show them that and basically demystifying the misconceptions that are raised by many people, and then in doing that, hopefully inspiring people to actually to want to go look at the ocean and see these things for themselves, because it's there at our feet. It's very beautiful. It's there at our feet, and I think the video work that I do and the stories that I put with it, it puts a personal touch to the animals there, and you do feel a connection with them when you are diving.
Oh, certainly very sensitive footage that you took. It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Rob's got a question for you.
You say that to take away the fear of the ocean, but I think if you knew what was under there, you may not swim in it. The stingray, for example, pretty scary, aren't they?
No, the stingrays are the most beautiful.
It's a leading question.
And look, that's all right. No, look, it's too many times I hear the Steve Irwin scenario, and look, the reality is all creatures, man and animal, will react to situations where they feel threatened, and stingrays, sharks, octopus, blue ring octopus, all of those creatures have a natural, and even man has a natural desire to walk away from a conflict. And it's only in a situation where they're pressured or where they feel cornered that they will do something that potentially can harm. So, the amount of footage that I have of stingrays swimming around me and brushing up against me, I have no fear whatsoever of those creatures, because I know that their being is not wanting to harm. It is curiosity. It's just a case of me being respectful to them, and I think that's the key in my wording, is that I want to foster a respect of these creatures with the people out there, so that we don't have those situations.
Yes, Steve Irwin was an animal annoyer, really, wasn't he?
Oh, look, he meant very, very well. He just got into a situation that he didn't need to be into, and that can happen, unfortunately.
There was a very interesting, Mark, one of the programs that was featured in the film festival, the woman who was swimming with sharks. She's
Yes.
free diving. I've lost her name at the top of my
Yes.
head, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'll find it in a second. She was really looking, Hanley Prizlu,
Yes.
on the coast of South Africa and Mozambique. And she was talking, she talked a little bit about how they'd gone out to look for these sharks, but they actually had a big ray come past and sort of as if it had talked to everybody in the group, and then it just disappeared off. So it's actually, when you talk about the curiosity of these animals,
Yep.
that nobody felt threatened by that visitation, if you like. I think they all felt quite honoured that they could connect in that way with nature underwater.
Yes. No, you are right, and that is the manta ray she spoke of. I've dived with manta rays off Stradbroke Island, and again there is a natural inquisitiveness with these creatures of the human species that's there, and some, unfortunately, I think you'd have to say, some do have bad experiences, and some do have that memory of what humans do, and seals and dolphins are the same. They are very communicative with humans, but if they have a bad experience, they don't forget, and they become shy, or they become less. They react less with humans.
And in your view, what are some of the biggest threats to the bay in terms of the diversity of our sea life and the kind of state that they're in? I know that, for example, the EPA readings in the bay obviously sometimes go up after big storms. Lots of waste washes down into our bay, and it's a very shallow environment, isn't it?
Look, it is. Look, pollution chemically is obviously a major problem. Plastic bags, that is probably one of the biggest killers of ocean life. Sea turtles and other creatures actually eat jellyfish, and to them a plastic bag looks like a jellyfish, and so many of them die through eating that, and then they starve. So,
do you find yourself swimming, with a fair bit of rubbish in the ocean as well?
Look, it's not necessarily obvious, but you do see it from time to time, and look, and you do see beaches littered with rubbish after events on weekends sometimes, and environment, and it doesn't say much for the people that does it. It is very, it is very, very disappointing. So
I think there was the other comment that Hanley Pusley made was that people think when they're throwing their rubbish away, there is no away.
And she's totally correct. It becomes unseen, but it's unseen by most people because most people don't venture to the depths of the ocean or to the shallows of the ocean where that rubbish ends up.
That's right. Yeah, it always ends up at the lowest point, which is down in the sea.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, thank you so much for joining us today. Is there anything else? Can you just give us a plug for where we can find your work? So we'll repost this out on our blog site after the show.
Yep.
It's beautiful. If I can encourage the listeners to log on and have a look at your work, it really is stunning and very educational. So tell us where we can find it.
Okay, look, so you can find my work on www.oceanandtheearth.wordpress.com. And I do also have a Facebook page called Ocean and the Earth.
Ocean and the Earth. And yes, that's facebook.com/Ocean and the Earth.
That's it, yep.
Terrific. Don?
No, that's it.
Oh, no, sorry, not to you, Tim Rob. I've just...
No, we'll go to attract Jules.
Okay.
We might as well do this on here. We're all friends.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks very much for joining us today, Mark. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.